Hey guys, Jonah here. Monday is here again. Back to another beery type week, I guess. And you want to see a beer review, hey? Well, gonna go back to the Scandi beer, um, the beer box from yeah, from all over the Scandi land. We are going to Sweden, and we've got by the book. It says an article written by the lovely Robin Gilmore. um, about these guys, Beerbliotek, I think it's meant to be called. Oh no, I've turned over too many pages. It is a double thing. Um, and they want you to think of their brewery as if it was a library. It's an interesting article. Doesn't actually say a huge amount really. But yeah, liking the sound of that. Here is the beer itself. Beerbliotek, number 371. It's a hazy beer, no doubt. There we go. There's their logo. Kind of a bit of a mellow logo compared to some of the ones I've had recently. It's a New England IPA. Well, I don't know if it is really, because if we look here, it's only 3.4%. So that is not an IPA in my book. And there's a little thing to click on if you want to find out the story of this beer, they say. But I know quite a bit about this beer. Look, don't go mixing with those Swedish pregnant ladies. What's that thing say? Craft Beer something society. And they're 10 years old, apparently. So they're obviously doing quite well. It's a 330. It's made, this beer particularly is made with the Amarillo hops, which I always get sort of marmalade stuff from. They have got wheat, they have got oats, everything that does make a New England IPA an IPA, of which this is not an IPA. So they are lying to me. I don't like being lied to. They, I'm sure, would say, oh, it's a session IPA. We just forgot to put session on there. Well, sorry, that is not a beer either. Session IPA is not an IPA. It might be a pale ale. We'll see. Boom. We have the glass. Is it that hazy? Not really. I'm going to try not to get, oops, a few little bits in there. We shall see. Okay, it is a little bit hazy. Quite a good amount of carbonation, as you can see, dear viewer. Producing just over a nail's width over. Oh, it's actually growing. A nail width over a finger's head, finger and a half maybe. Wow, look at that! That head. Jesus Christ! Look at that. And this has been in the fridge. My goodness, where are we up to now? No, it's about a finger and a half still. That is ridiculous. Looks good. Smells quite good too. Nice kind of fresh thing. Even a bit tropically, which is weird considering it's just Amarillo, perhaps. Well, that's what I think is in there. Who knows? Lovely fluffy white head. That head is beautiful, basically. Right, let us get this bad boy. That looks like a VB, you know, like the Australian beer. Victoria Bitters, eh? Whoops. I know I've got some Australian fans. There we go. There's a cheesy grin. My grin doesn't get more cheesy, does it, dear viewer? No. Anyway, cheers and beers. If you want to support the channel, do all those right things like clicking subscribe, for example, leaving a message, clicking subscribe. Well, you can do that, but click like. That's what I was about to say. And leaving messages. All of that kind of helps get me out and about, and people I'm not that hard a man to find, to be honest. And I'm a simple man making my way through the galaxy, one beer at a time. Cheers and beers. Let's see what we get from this bad boy. Interesting. Quite fresh, quite bubbly on the tongue, obviously because of that carbonation. A tiny bit juicy, and then it went quite kind of creamy and smooth, but not in the way that a normal NEIPA beer would do, because it's incredibly watery, very, very watery. So the tastes are there. It's such a shame that this beer is 3.4%. I almost feel fleeced especially when I'm drinking a very light beer, because they're equally as expensive. This was probably, a can of this is probably £3.50. Should you wish to buy it from Beer 52. Whoa, wow. My God, that gas is ridiculous in there. I'm not going to be doing that. I won't buy this beer again. Because for me, it's a bit of a waste of money. I'd rather have a stronger beer, a more traditional style, and one that doesn't lie to me on the front of the can. I also think that there are different hops in here than purely a single hop, i.e. Amarillo in this case. It doesn't have enough orange. Um, there is a bit in there, but it's more tropical kind of thing. I would say this is more of a Simcoe type because of the juiciness. Don't usually get juiciness, well, I don't anyway, purely from Amarillo hops. But it's so watered down, who knows? I mean, there is that kind of orangey stroke, kind of blood orange thing going on. But I usually get a bit more tanginess from Amarillo. I get a sort of a more marmalade kind of thing. This, on the other hand, is a bit more kind of juicy, which for me always comes from Simcoe hops as opposed to Amarillo. They're similar, but basically different. And there's that kind of more tropically type thing going on there as well. Let me see, because I didn't tip this thing over. Hold that up to you, dear viewer. Can you read that very small writing there? Brewed and for imported, blah 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 blah. Water, wheat, oats, hops. But it doesn't say what it is. Maybe I should have clicked or even used my phone. Dear viewer, I will not disappoint you next time, because I do have another beer, a darker beer this time, from Beerbliotek. Beerbliotek. It's a weird thing to say, that is. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's too watery, man. Simple as that. No, there's some nice lacing there going on there. Look at those lines. Pretty fat and thick those lines are, which is good in my book. I mean, for a really light beer, not bad at all. Look round the back, got that sort of mountain thing going on there. The head's really good, and the head retention fantastic. Carbonation a wee bit too high for me. Um, not hoppy enough, not creamy enough. Was this another beer and they've watered it down? Another example of, or did they try and create a really light beer with a little bit of hoppiness in? Either way, they haven't quite succeeded. I think it's been backwatered. Because if you're going to make a light beer, a 3% beer, and you throw hops in, you do get the hop expression a bit more, even if you don't put a huge amount of hops in there. This is very dull and muted, like it's been watered down, which I don't like. I don't like on so many different levels. But there's nothing wrong with this beer. It just says more about me. And dear viewer, if you liked very weak, watery type beer, a session beer, even though I hate to say session IPA, if you like a light pale ale, a lawnmower beer, one you can have sort of 5 or 6 of, but at that price for a £3.50, it just rubs me up the wrong way. If this is your bag, go for it, is what I'm saying. Tis not my bag, unfortunately. I'm going to focus on there. It doesn't say the word session. It says New England IPA, which it isn't. It's definitely not that. Refreshing, vibrant, even smooth and hoppy. Refreshing, yeah. Vibrant, smooth and hoppy. Well, it's smooth, but it's smooth like water is smooth. But, dear viewer, why not try one of these beers? Don't think I'll score it too highly on Untapped. And should you wish to get hold of me, why not link up with me on Untapped? The link to my Untapped channel is down below. Feel free. You can ask questions. You can even send things to me these days. Or, like I said, give me a comment down below. Uncle Jonah will return. I'm going to be doing another beer review. It's going to be real soon. And take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And drink some beer. Drink some lovely beer.